You're an entrepreneur and you're completely missing the boat. What do I mean by that? You are using artificial intelligence and you're probably doing some new and cool things, innovative things, and you're not getting paid for it. The government will give you money. Yes, they'll give you money. Here, I'm going to show you how in this presentation. By the way, I'm Kenner French. I'm with vastsolutionsgroup.com. We've been doing taxes really since 1969. I took over in 2006, and we are good to go to help you to lower your tax liability. Here we go. Let's get right to it. It's pretty interesting that so many small business owners are totally missing the boat on this R&D credit. It's unbelievable. Whether you know it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, you are doing so. So let's get straight to it. So yeah, we're going to call this Unlocking AI R&D Tax Credits. Once again, my name is Kenner French. So here's an introduction. Government incentives. The government gives you money to be able to push society forward as far as capitalism, et cetera, by doing research and innovation. The government wants us as citizens to, especially for business owners, to propel forward to help society. And one way of doing that is providing innovation to the marketplace. Now, we're going to get into some of the specifics about innovation, what I'm talking about there, but you will be very surprised by some of the things that you're doing that can qualify for R&D credits. And by the way, here it says tax savings. It is tax savings. It's not a deduction. It's a tax credit. Really, ultimately, a dollar for dollar tax credit, and you can maximize the benefits, which we'll get into in a little bit. Here is R&D tax credits can provide significant financial benefits. A lot of people, a lot of professionals, tax professionals, don't even realize that. I got a call just last week about R&D tax credits, and he was experienced, has been around for 20 years in the tax world, and really knew nothing about the R&D tax credit, especially as it relates to artificial intelligence. By the way, we've been doing artificial intelligence. Really, we had our own model since 2018. We started in 2010. And we've been taking the research credits to our benefit. And hence the reason we decided to get into AI, because we knew, one, it was beneficial, was putting, again, society forward by helping with innovation. Plus, yeah, we're getting paid for it by the government. So why not do it? So what are R&D tax credits? The definition, as we show here, R&D tax credits are government incentives that provide financial rewards for businesses investing in research and development. I'm going to really define research and development in just a little bit, but yeah, it's a tax burden offset. Specifically, it's a credit, dollar for dollar credit, depending on the circumstances, and we'll get into that. Eligible activities. It's important to remember a lot of activities that you're probably doing if you're utilizing AI to help your business, they're construed as eligible activities. Calculation, you have to do a calculation that's in line with normal tax mores to be able to figure out if you're eligible for those benefits, which I mentioned here. So here we go. Now, AI is all the rage. People are now doing it. They've been doing it for a year or two, or whatever the case is. And really what it's doing is it's new technology that's not been in the marketplace. So you, as a business owner, could be utilizing it. How are you utilizing it? You're probably using chat, or you're probably using Gemini or Claude, whatever the case is. Those are all elements of artificial intelligence. Those are large language models, maybe dumbed down AI components, but still they are part of the artificial intelligence general umbrella. Really, and you can also construe machine learning in there. And entrepreneurs are missing the boat because, one, by the way, if you're not using AI, you're totally missing the boat. If you're not using Gemini, if you're not using chat, if you're not using whatever the case is, you are missing the boat, number one. But also, number two, if you're not taking the deduction, or you're not taking the research credit, you're not taking the R&D credit, that's even worse for you. Here we go. Bill Gates, I believe in innovation. The way to get innovation is, fund research. So it really is helping society. I 100% believe in that. At the same time, you're also helping yourself in business-wise and also as far as taxes go, which is nice. I mean, just like if you're going to take a deduction for putting money into a qualified plan, the government's helping you by doing so. They're incentivizing you to do so. Plus, at the same time, you're helping yourself by having more money in retirement, as an example. Same thing with R&D. There's so many positive elements to R&D. The reason we grew as far as, at vastsolutionsgroup.com, the reason we grew as far and as fast as we did, because we were pushing the envelope as far as research, with not only with artificial intelligence, now with quantum computing, which we've been doing for a while, by the way, or actually trying to do it. It's a little bit more technical than AI, but, everything we do, really we're trying to push ourselves forward so the government gives us money as a result. All right, so what are some of the eligible R&D activities? Remember I said you're probably doing some of these things and don't even realize it and walking over dollars. Well, you can develop new products. Are you developing new LLM products or artificial intelligence products? You might be, right? Are you testing new products? Probably. Are you evaluating the creativity of new products? Probably. What about new services? What about customer service services? What about new sales software? Well, if you're pushing the envelope as far as cool things with AI or, again, Claude, et cetera, potentially you could be getting the AI R&D credit. What about troubleshooting new technologies, right? That time spent on that, either if it's you, mainly in the United States, by the way, or someone else, right? Those dollars could be getting research credits. Innovative. Now, I'm assuming, like as an example, we're doing a new type of app using artificial intelligence based on kind of our own model or old model, basically, called Einstein. Basically, what we're doing is we're trying to propel our company forward. We're testing new things. Testing, that's a key word in that, by the way, testing new things. And basically what that's going to avail us or open us to is research and development tax credits. By the way, some of the research we're spending time on might not work, but the government actually likes it because you're trying to push things forward, even if it doesn't work as far as your business. Here's a situation. This is just a small example of a recent situation where the client wasn't taking their R&D tax credit. They didn't put away exactly $100,000 into R&D, but I gave it as an example. So let's just say you're not worrying about the tax credit. Well, clearly you're going to get $0. But with the R&D tax credit, $17,000 more in the pocket of the business owner, of the entrepreneur. $17,000, well, it's nothing to laugh at. It's money in the pocket that could maybe potentially go towards, who knows, hiring a new employee or a new market or a new expansion plan, whatever the case is. Let's go over the process. A lot of people have questions about the process of R&D tax credits. First, you have to do an initial assessment. Usually, if you're doing artificial intelligence, you have to figure out the specifics revolving it. Is it really going to be eligible for AI research and development credit? You have to make sure that it truly is helping to propel the company forward. Then you have to do all the documentation. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's usually worth it. You're already doing the AI research and development with Chat or with Google or Gemini or whatever the case is, right? So, well, you have to document it. Make sure you can support that claim that you're doing research, you're doing development utilizing artificial intelligence. Again, I'm willing to bet you in most cases you probably are. Claim prep. You got to make sure that you can back it up. You got to make sure that you can back up the claim that truly, that when you do the application, it's not even an application, by the way, it's basically you submit the form, but when you submit it, that you could back it up with specific paperwork that outlines it. So you've brought into the case, you have documentation, and then when you do the claim preparation, you have it all in a nice, tidy package. And then filing the claim, you have to file the claim with both federal, if it is federal, if you get the federal tax credit for your project, and the same, or projects, by the way, number one. Or number two, state credits. You can also potentially get state credits. I think it's 33 different states also allow for research and development tax credits. And that it's called stacking. You could have your federal, you can have your state, and sometimes you can have county tax credits depending on the circumstances, or sometimes even they're called tax credits, but they could be scholarships for research and development depending on the situation. Ongoing support. Now you have to, let's just say in year one, you've submitted the claim as you will submit the claim, basically, and then move forward. You got to make sure that all your research and development is being accounted for, right, on an ongoing basis, because you don't want. It's easier when you're doing it proactively, because then you know that, oh, wait a minute, hey, let's remember we could be getting an R&D tax credit here. Let's track it better. So while doing so, you do it on an ongoing basis. You analyze on an ongoing basis if you should be applying for R&D tax credit in that case. By the way, here, the shark, here, Kevin O'Leary, the shark, Mr. Wonderful, I'm going to do a little bit of bragging about us. What he said was, vastsolutionsgroup.com, this is on our website, by the way, is saving some money for entrepreneurs on tax. Check them out. You'll be glad you did. He did this because we're using artificial intelligence. He knows and knew back then when he cited this, he knew that we were pushing the envelope as far as artificial intelligence. It's beneficial to when a business shows that we're doing research, we're doing something pushing the envelope, but also potentially because of the tax credit, we're making some money, not only for us because we're doing artificial intelligence research and development, but also for our clients. When our clients are doing AI, if we've been able to find ways that they're doing AI, we should be able to lower their tax liability. By the way, all legally, all compliant, et cetera, et cetera. Now, as I mentioned, you can go to our website, see Kevin O'Leary's video that we did, or that I should say that he did for us. And by the way, we have a product called AI Credit Max. AI Credit Max. So we're here to help you, the business owner, the entrepreneur, if you have any questions. Or, by the way, in closing, what I would say is go to your tax provider. They know your situation. If they're not doing R&D tax credits for themselves, there's an issue. If they're not suggesting you do it, and you should be getting R&D tax credits, so there's a bigger issue. And by the way, if you want a second opinion on R&D tax credits, we're here. AI Credit Max is something that can help you as a small business owner. It's really a resource though, but who knows, maybe your tax professional can help you. That's great if so. They know your situation. Go back to them. If they need a sounding board, if you don't have a tax professional who knows enough about entrepreneurial endeavors or who knows enough about AI credit, tax credits, that's for us. We're here to help you. Once again, my name is Kenner French of vastsolutionsgroup.com. This has been a great time. Hopefully it's been quick, but you found a thought that really some of the things we've talked about can help you to lower your tax liability if you're in fact doing artificial intelligence R&D, which my thought is you probably are. Once again, Kenner French of vastsolutionsgroup.com.